To start the Sign Zone tonight, Professor Ian Stewart and how the waters of Scotland became some of the most managed on Earth. That's in just a few minutes. First on BBC One and BBC One HD, Matt Taylor has the Weatherview.
Hello there. It was certainly a Saturday to remember across some parts of the country. We saw heavy, persistent rain throughout the day in North Wales and North West England, and even into the early hours of this morning. It continues. It's a waving weather front which comes all the way from the mid-Atlantic, a stream of cloud that continues to pile in the rain. The weather warnings are lapsed for Wales, but could continue across parts of North Lancashire and Cumbria even into the morning. Here's that zone of moisture which continues just to creep its way a little bit further northwards. To the south of it, we're pulling in mild southwesterly winds, temperatures no lower than around 10-11 degrees into the morning. To the north of it, across Scotland, Northern Ireland, a chilly night, some frost, some ice, but much of Scotland will be dry, at least to begin with. However, through the day, that bank of cloud and rain pushes its way northwards. Still fairly cloudy to the south, the mild air just edging a little bit further northwards, so not as chilly across parts of, say, northwest England and North Wales. But into Sunday, we see that rain eventually make central southern Scotland, and cold air in place. We'll see some snow to the southern Grampians, far north of Scotland. Generally dry, just 1 or 2 showers. It's going to be a wet day in Northern Ireland throughout. Some of that rain heavy and persistent through the afternoon. Still the rain piles in across Cumbria into Northumberland. Still fairly cloudy and grey for the rest of North West England. East of the Pennines, particularly around Lincolnshire and across the East Midlands, we could see a few breaks appear in that cloud, but they will be limited. We'll see still plenty of cloud across much of the Midlands, southern England. Stiff southwesterly wind, like on Saturday, will be bringing a little bit of light rain or drizzle at times, but it lifts temperatures to around 12 or 13 degrees. Now for Wales, there's still some damp and drizzly weather to come across the hills and mountains in particular, but certainly for North Wales, not as wet a days to come as we saw through Saturday. Now, during Sunday night, our weather front and its rain continues to push its way southwards once again, hitting the same areas which bore the brunt of the wet weather during Saturday. Colder air to the north, so frost and some icy conditions to come here. Much of England and Wales, though, holding on to the milder conditions for the time being. So there's our front, wriggling away across the country once again. Still some various bumps on it to take us into Monday, so it's going to be slow in its clearance southwards and eastwards during the day. It will eventually become confined to the southeast corner during the afternoon. Brighter skies in Scotland, Northern Ireland, eventually developing in Northern England, Wales and the southwest. But it turns a little bit chilly here, and the showers across the northwest will be that bit wintry. But as it clears completely, we see some frosty conditions to take us into Tuesday. It will be a lovely bright day, but a rather chilly one before we see wet and actually quite windy weather push up across western parts on Wednesday, taking rain to many parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, also affecting northern parts of England during the day. Further south, after a bright day on Tuesday, we see a bit more cloud develop into Wednesday, and that'll be the case as we look across much of southern England and southern Wales. Something a little bit brighter for Tuesday, maybe a bit grey across southernmost parts, but for Wednesday, the rain across southern areas limited towards the west. And it's going to be one of those changeable weeks again as we go through next week. More details on that, though, online. Goodbye.
We arrive, right? First thing we do, hit the bar. That's when my wallet went. Well, then it kicks off and things get out of hand.
And me, I end up getting banged up. Fair enough, the girl from the embassy, she's quite helpful. Turns up with a list of local lawyers.
What about bail? I says.
We don't pay the fines or bail you out, she says. Hang on, me, I've got a British passport. Don't make no difference, she says.
And as it happens, I haven't got a passport. It went with me wallet and me holiday money. Well, what about Sub to see me through, I says?
No can do, she says. We can help you get money sent over from home.
And sort you out a new passport.
But it takes time, and it'll cost you.
It's exactly the same as at home, she says.
But sunnier.
Then, to top it all, my mate comes off his scooter.
Uninsured, of course.
Cost his mum and dad an arm and a leg to get him back.
If you get into trouble on holiday, they'll give you a hand.
And it's €50.
Not a handout.
I'm Sahira Shah, your new registrar.
The only way to get respect is to show respect.
You've only been on my ward 5 minutes. Your sweetest treacle routine won't work on me.
Good talk.
New friends and new enemies at Holby City. Tuesdays at 8 on BBC One and BBC One HD.
In an hour on the Sign Zone, know-it-all Malik gets a wake-up call at Holby City. Now on BBC One and BBC One HD, the making of Scotland's watery landscape.